Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Adrian Martins, and I am the Community Relations Specialist for this community. We appreciate everyone sharing their evenings with us today to discuss this project, and closed captioning is available for this event through the stream on the event page. A recording of this meeting will also be posted at the provided link following the event, and if you'd like to ask any questions verbally, you can do so through the Zoom room, which is the yellow button that you can find underneath the YouTube stream on that web page. But today we're going to be going over a number of projects that are happening in the Birchmount community and answer your questions at the end of the event. We're good for the next slide. So we begin all our meetings with a land acknowledgement. Metrolinx acknowledges that it operates on the traditional territory of Indigenous peoples, including the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. In particular, we acknowledge lands covered by Treaty 13, 1805 with the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, the Gunshot Treaty, 1788 within the Williams Treaty territory, and the Fort Albany-Nanfan Treaty of 1701 with the Haudenosaunee. Metrolinx is committed to building meaningful relationships with Indigenous peoples and to working towards meaningful reconciliation with the original caretakers of this land. Next slide, and I'll pass this over to Sherry.
Thanks, Adrian. Hi, everyone. The safety is a key commitment to the communities we operate and build in. As excavation and piling works being at this site, we encourage everyone and residents to be aware of the increased vehicle activity around these sites. Please look both ways when crossing and be extra diligent and cautious. Also, please, if you see something, say something, and you can always contact our team at the number that you can see on your screen at 416-202-3900. Thanks, Adrian. Next.
Thank you. So before we discuss the specifics of the work, I'd like to provide an overview of what exactly we're doing and a little bit about the Lakeshore East. So the Lakeshore East GO corridor is Metrolinx's second business rail line, and we're transforming this corridor to bring more trips along the line for those traveling to and from Toronto. This will offer more GO service and faster trains, seamless connection to our regional rapid transit network. We're good for the next slide. And this is just a bit more of an overview of the benefits. I always like showing the benefits before we get to the work of GO expansion. So this project is one of many that are allowing us to, I won't go through everything, but it's allowing us to double our regional commuter capacity, which is the equivalent to 9 401 highways. And this project will support an annual ridership of over 200 million people by 2055, and will take close to 145,000 car trips off the road each day. And we're good for the next slide. So this is just the agenda, and before I turn it over to my fellow panelists, we just wanted to provide a quick overview of the projects underway or are coming up in the community. Each panelist we have tonight will take you through the specifics of their project and provide you with that overview of their work, and we'll be here to answer your questions as well. The 4 projects that we will be discussing, which you can see on your screen, and throughout the construction period for all these projects, I will be your contact if you have questions or concerns, and you can contact me through the emails that we've provided or the phone number through this presentation. And with that, I can pass it over to Sherry, who will take you through the Lakeshore East Package A Early Works project.
Thanks, Adrian, and hi everyone again. It's Sherry Malikzadeh. I'm a project manager of the Lakeshore East West Package A Early Works in Metrolinx, and I'm happy to present you this project and give you a little bit of overview of what will happen in the close future in the Birchmount community. Next slide, please. Thanks. Yeah. The project overview, I would say that Dufferin Construction is Metrolinx selected contractor to perform this work, and it's about expanding the corridor on the north side of the rail corridor to allow for the future installation of the 4th track. This work includes grading and installation of a retaining wall to support the proposed grading and accommodate the proposed 4th track for the future use. Metrolinx is largely operating the construction activity for this project within its right-of-way, and all the residents, homeowners, and the property owners whose lands are required have been already contacted by Metrolinx teams. The work requires preparing the ground and grading work, installation of a retaining wall to support the grading, and electrical and drainage work, and at the end we will do the restoration. Due to proximity to the active rail corridor, the majority of the work will be required to be conducted at night, and at some point some work will overlap. Next slide, please. For this project, we identified two main access roads, and it's good to say that none of them are in residential areas. One access road on the east end of the project is located at Kennedy Road, close to Kennedy Bridge, and the other one is located on the west end of the project limit, which is Milne Avenue. And our identified construction staging for the term of the project is located at the Milne Avenue. An access road will be constructed in the corridor to minimize the transportation of the construction equipment on residential streets. Next slide, please. Yeah, about the construction activities, we start with some prep work, and then after that we will move on to main and major construction activities. A part of the prep work, we have the vegetation removal. This activity means we need to remove the trees and shrubs that they are identified to be removed on the north side of the corridor where the project will happen. By removing these shrubs and trees, we will have enough space to perform the construction and do the grading, and also have enough space for building the retaining wall, and it helps in the widening of the corridor. Next slide, please. That talks about another prep work, and it's about the construction of access roads. It means a roadway will be constructed from two identified access roads, one at the Kennedy Road and the other one at the Milne Avenue, to the project limit. Next slide, please. Yeah, after completing the identified prep work, construction access roads, and vegetation removal, we will have the major construction activity. This will have the excavation as one of the main items. We will do excavation for different aspects of the project, like grading and building the retaining wall. It means we need to remove the excess material and earth to level the ground and allow for the installation of the retaining wall. And after that, we need to move on to the grading to prepare the future fourth track bedding. This activity will runs from east to west of the project limit. At the east side, we will have Kennedy Road, and on the west side, we will have Walcott Avenue. Next slide, please. Excavation, we will do the retaining wall. Piling is one of the main activities that we have to do for construction of the retaining wall. In piling phase, we will drill the holes deep into the ground, and after that we will fill them with the concrete to support the H-beams as the basis and support for the retaining wall. We will utilize the drilling method, which is quieter, and also it creates less vibration compared to the pounding method. The retaining walls will be installed from east of the Milne Avenue, that's located on the west of the project limit, and all the way to the Kennedy Road, located on the east end of the project limit. Next slide, please. Yeah, after the piling, we will move on to lagging wall, which is installation of lagging wall sections between the H-beams that we install them through the piling process. And after doing the lagging wall, we will move on to the next step. Next slide, please. Yeah. After doing that, we will move to the next step, which is the grading, because we have the support for doing the grading. The grading means we're gonna place the granular base for the future track on a expanded area on the north side of the corridor and install the subsurface drainage. Next slide, please. The last activity after doing the grading and when we are almost close to the end of the project is the restoration. Metrolinx, in collaboration with TRC and City of Toronto, identified all the restoration requirements, and we did the restoration and compensation opportunities and met all the requirements. There will be no tree replanting within the Metrolinx right-of-way because of the future electrification requirements that will come after this one. Next, please. Yeah. So in a previous slides that we walk you through the construction activities, you may notice that the timeline of the construction activities mentioned to be done at night, and you may ask why. The reason of doing the work for this project at night is that the work is located very close to the tracks, and we have to work close to live tracks when we have train traffic. Given this, the daytime would result, very frequent work stoppage, and meaning significantly increase in a schedule of the construction and timeline, and that at the end will end up to the more noise for residents. Then we come up with a plan to do the work at the overnight that will let us to complete the work safely, which is really important, and efficiently because of the trains not running at night in a corridor, or at some point or some days they will run at reduced frequency at night. So this will help us to have the better project in a most safest way and with a better productivity and efficiency. Next slide, please. Like all other construction activities, we're gonna have noise and vibration, but Metrolinx and Dufferin have some mitigation in plan that you can see them on the screen, and some of them are listed here, such as the policy that we have in place for anti-idling equipment. It means no idling of non-essential equipment. Also, Dufferin will attempt to reduce the duration of trucks reversing into the project site. That means minimizing the exposure of the backup alarms for the construction equipment. Another item that we consider is to use the white noise or broadband backup alarms on the trucks and construction equipment that will be on site for longer than 2 days at a time. Another item that we consider as a mitigation plan is working at night, that it led us to complete the work safely and efficiently because trains are not running or they will run at a reduced frequency. The other item that we consider is if it's possible and whenever it's possible, Dufferin will route the trucks and construction equipment on main roads to avoid using the small residential area. It will help to minimize the traffic in residential streets and residential areas. The last but not least is about the sequencing, identifying and sequencing the louder work activities earlier in the evening that help us to do the louder works in earlier of the shift, and then move on to the other activities. Next slide, please. And yes, of course, that we monitor the noise and vibration during the term of the construction. There are some noise and vibration monitoring devices that they are located in each work zone. We read the data continuously in 24 hours of the 7 days of the week, and these devices are solar powered, and all data are stored on a cloud service. Dufferin and Metrolinx both have access to the data, and the weekly monitoring report that's prepared by a specialist will be submitted to Metrolinx to review. And in case of exceedance, Metrolinx will be notified within the 24 hours by email from Dufferin, its contractor, and both Dufferin and Metrolinx will investigate the cause to find the cause root and determine the best action that required to be taken. Next slide, please. Yeah, and I will hand it over to our friends in Birchmount Bridge construction team. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Sherry. So Birchmount Bridge Reconstruction Project. My name is Anthony Olagunju, and I'm the project manager for this project. Next slide, please. So let's explore some quick facts about this project that we're talking about. This bridge was originally built in 1958, so it means that this bridge is over 63 years old. It does support 4 lanes of traffic, so 2 on the northbound and 2 on the southbound. So while we're thinking about this project and envisioning the entire work that we're going to do, the City of Toronto did conduct an independent study to sort of understand the condition of the bridge so that we're making an informed decision. Likewise, Metrolinx did the same as well. And what was the result of the independent analysis that we conducted? It was determined that the bridge was nearing its useful life, meaning that some of the bridge components are not very sound in that sense. So it was mandated, or the economic decision was to build a new bridge. What does this project entail, or what are the benefits that we see to this project while we're doing this project? One of the key things which my colleague did mention was the track capacity that we're increasing. As we all understand that the mandate that we have from the province is to have efficient and more reliable service. In order to do that, we have to increase our track capacity. That's why we're adding the 4th track to the north of the corridor there. And what does this also afford us? We have operational flexibility. We'll be able to get you from point A to point B in an efficient manner. And I did talk about the bridge nearing its useful life. So by replacing this bridge at this time, we're going to have a lowered maintenance cost instead of going in every now and then to maintain the bridge. Great. Next slide, please. So the scope of work, what are we doing here? What are we doing at Birchmount? So some of the key components of the work that I'm doing are: 1, demolition and replacement of the existing bridge. We're also going to be building retaining walls on the north side. We have a span which is about 150 meters in length, and we're going to be doing grading for the 4th track. This spans under the bridge. There'll be utilities relocation, which will closely worked with the utility owners. The couple of civil works that we're doing, it's important we also look at the environmental due diligence to ensure that the regulatory requirements are being met, and we've conducted that as well. And there will be property acquisition, which is mostly on the north side. Next slide, please. So what are some of the impacts that we're looking at? So what does this mean to us during the construction season? There'll be lane reduction. We did work closely with the City of Toronto because we could have shut the bridge down and have a faster construction season. But working with the City of Toronto and Metrolinx, we did determine that it's important that there's still access through Birchmount, and we're going to be phasing the bridge construction. So it's going to be phase 1 and phase 2. During phase 1, there will be a lane reduction, and when we switch to the other phase, there will be lane reduction as well. What else can we expect? There can be, we can expect construction noise, and during the day, and there will be occasional night work and weekend work, whereby we're going to be doing full closure, but that will be very minimized. What are the next steps from here? The 100% project design, we've completed that. We're going to be moving towards the procurement and therefore awarding the contract. The target timeline is spring of 2022, and we're targeting to commence construction August of 2022. Thank you very much. I'll pass it to Caroline.
Oh, I think I wasn't muted. Thank you, Anthony. My name is Caroline Danrath. I'm the Senior Manager for Capital Project Group. I oversee the vegetation removal to support the Encore Go expansion. Next slide, please. So we are removing trees and shrubbery on the south side of the rail corridor between Walcourt and Kennedy Road. This is to support the future electrification, to prepare for the installation of the infrastructure that's required to support that work. We have commenced this work already. We started in the beginning of January, and with a goal to finish by the end of March. Our contractors are working during the day and when necessary will work weekends. And we're on schedule and we're hoping that we'll actually finish early. So, next slide. I'll hand that over to Sung.
Thank you, Caroline. My name is Sung Cho. I'm a project manager for utility relocation project. So we are currently relocating the utilities, fiber optic cables from the north to the south side of the rail corridor to accommodate future corridor infrastructure for track. We are working with utility companies to relocate their cables, including our own signals and communications cables that are vital for all trains, mainly for GO trains. Works have been happening since fall 2021 and is expected to be complete by next month. Given the proximity to the track, work has to be conducted at night for the safety of the crews. We would like everyone to know that Metrolinx is making every effort to complete this work and vacate from Woodrow Park by the end of this month. And just to let you know, as soon as the weather permits, Metrolinx is going to resodding the park before the spring comes. And that's it for my project. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. So now we're on the questions and discussion portion. For those who are watching on YouTube, you can join the Zoom room if you'd like to submit a question through text or to verbally ask it. Or if you're in the Zoom room already, you're able to ask a question by raising your hands, and my colleague Colin will be able to unmute you. But we do have some submitted questions as well. And I'll read it out, and I've got David Felt, my manager here, who's going to help discuss the questions that were submitted in advance as well. So the first question is, when will the Scarborough Junction grade separation start construction?
Thanks, Adrian, and thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. Just pulling up my notes. So the timing for the Scarborough Junction grade separation is the important thing to know about this, the Scarborough Junction, is part of a package of potential works in Scarborough, grade separations that would assist in sort of our overall goal of increasing service on the line. We're in a procurement phase of the process, and through that process, we've previously gotten approvals for all the infrastructure that would be required. But the proponents will also be coming to us and talking about what infrastructure is required to meet the objectives in terms of facilities. So in terms of the Scarborough Junction grade separation and grade separations, road grade separations, we'll know more of that in the spring. When the procurement is finalized and the proponent's been selected. So we'll, I guess, watch this space, as they say. We'll continue to have information on our website and in our newsletters about those projects when they come, as well as coming out to the community with information for impacted residents.
All right, thank you, David. The next question we have is, how will integration with the future Scarborough subway extension look like?
Thanks, and a lot of great questions here. Very pleased to see people that are aware of all the different things Metrolinx doing in the region, and specifically in Scarborough. So the Scarborough subway will not introduce any more any new interface points with the Lakeshore line. People, if you do it now, you're still able to do that walking transfer at Main and Danforth, but we're not introducing a new connection between the subway and the Lakeshore line. Of course, at Kennedy, as is now, the extension will connect with the Kennedy service that also provides service into Yonge Street. I think what we'd I think that's sort of the key message on the subway. There's going to be a stop at the extension itself for people that aren't familiar. It begins at Kennedy Station, then there's a stop at Lawrence, and then a stop at Lawrence and McCowan, and then a stop at just north of Ellesmere and McCowan, and then it will terminate at Shepherd and Shepherd and McCowan will be the terminus. So Ellesmere and McCowan will be the Scarborough Town Centre stop, and we've got information on our website about that if people aren't aware, and you can certainly get yourself on a mailing list for that project as well. Scarborough project, both this project and the other project serve the Scarborough community. They're serving two slightly different places, and we really we see the extension of the Scarborough subway is really providing an extra level of service to people in the north area of Scarborough. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And we have two other questions. So the first is, will the corridor see an addition of a fifth rail service to the long-term growing demand? And for an example, 4 tracks for the GO Stouffville Lakeshore line, and then 1 for intercity via rail. And then how is Metrolinx preparing for this now?
Sure, and the work that was done to sort of see what the requirements would be for providing the additional service on the GO line certainly took into consideration the needs of via service, and was able to sort of accommodate that in the forecast schedules. So the 4 lines that are being planned now are expected to provide the required the ability to provide the required levels of service through the period. Just noting that in this section we're talking about 4 tracks, and then as we move further east in the corridor, we're moving from 2 to 3 tracks in some locations. Some places where there's 3 tracks would maintain the tracks. So as the density of service increases closer to the core, where we have more tracks, and then we require less tracks when we'll be running less trains. So no plans at this time for an additional track, and we're able to meet the via schedule for the corridor.
And another one submitted online is, will there be provision for a new station in this area? This community deserves better GO train service to places like Exhibition, Port Credit, and Oakville.
Yeah, again, thanks for the question. And we get asked about new stations. Work on new stations was on looking at possible new stations was done about 3 or 4 years ago. There was a review of possible station locations. I don't believe this site would have been under consideration. One of the criteria was looking at sort of you had to be pretty close to 2 kilometers from an existing station to warrant consideration. One of the things that we see when we add stations is it adds time to all the people on the train. So if by adding a station, if the time savings for those people is less than the cost of time, then a station doesn't generally make sense. But just sort of going back to some of the other investments that we're doing in Scarborough, the subway, That's going to certainly the upgrades and the extension of the subway should provide an alternative option. The Ontario line, even though it's providing a different service, it's expected to pull people off of the Bloor line earlier, so reducing that transfer experience at the crowding that sometimes happens at Bloor and Yonge. And by expanding the GO service itself, should free up seats on the subway as well. So with the existing stations in the area, both the Scarborough station on the GO line and the subway stations, everyone should experience better service with these investments that are coming, including our ability to expand service on the Lakeshore line. And just sort of highlighting, those are great destinations that were sort of raised, people wanting to go to Exhibition, Port Credit, Oakville, lots of great destinations on the Lakeshore line. So again, the alternative to either connect via the subway at Union or Main, or travel out to Scarborough GO to connect at that point. And the other opportunity would be the new East Harbour station, which is just located north, which will be both a Lakeshore station and an Ontario line station, and that's just east of the Don River, around the Eastern Avenue. But I'll let we've spent looking at the wide picture. I'll let Adrian take us back to more local issues.
Yeah, so that's it for the submitted questions. I'm not seeing anything coming in from the Zoom room right now, so we can give it a little bit more time. But if people don't have questions right now and they come up later, you're always able to contact us as well. So we'll just give it a little bit of time. So, and I'll just recap while we're waiting. This presentation will be posted again through the flyer that you received, that link. You'll see the video there. So if you ever want to reference it, you can go back to it. The deck is posted there as well, so you can click and see the presentation that we had tonight. And you can reference it. And it includes our phone number and our contact information, so you can always reach out. I'll be working with you on all of these projects just to make it a bit simpler for you. Yeah. So I'll just give it a few more seconds.
Just while we're waiting, I just sort of going back through the projects quickly to jog people's memory. We have the first project that Sherry spoke about is our preparing for the addition of fourth tracks, which involves installation of a retaining wall, and so that's a project that's going to be getting underway soon. That project itself requires the removal of some trees. Anthony spoke about the replacement of the Birchmount Bridge in cooperation with the City of Toronto. So that's going to have some traffic impacts on Birchmount, some noise impacts. Caroline spoke about tree removals taking place more generally in this area that are being done for future electrification and for expanded service. And finally, Sung, and it must have sounded good to some people because it's I know it's been a noisy project, but the completion of the utility relocations, I think he told us that he hoped for the end of the month, and if not then certainly by the end of February, with park replacement, our park restoration in the spring. It's more amenable for that. So that's just, sorry, I just thought I'd take us through a quick reminder for people that joined late, or remembering the different pieces that were involved.
Yeah, thanks, David. I think we're good to go to the next slide then. It's got some of our contact information so people can jot it down. So there you can find our phone number, the website where we post our notices and more information about the projects that we have. You can also go to metrolinx.com/subscribe and sign up for our newsletter. We send it out weekly. It includes all the work that's going to be happening in the coming days or weeks, just to help keep you informed. We have our community office as well, which we're not operating at the moment, but hopefully sometime in the future. And our Go Expansion Twitter account as well, where we post our notices as well. We'll also send notices to your door as work develops, just to make sure that you're informed of all the work that we're going to be doing in the community, and it includes all the impacts that you'll see and hear, and our contact information as well, should you wish to get in touch. Okay, I haven't seen any questions come in. I think we've given a bit of time, so I can turn it back to the panel in case they have any closing comments. But if not, we can.
I won't belabor it, but just a couple of things I talked about tonight. There's information on the Scarborough subway on the, you can find a link at the Metrolinx Engage, information about the Go expansion project that Adrian spoke about at the beginning, the idea of providing additional service along the corridor and new stations. All of that information is available at the Metrolinx website, or feel happy to ask us through torontoeast.com. And final questions, or I'll happy for Adrian to thank everyone.
All right, seeing none, thank you all so much for joining us. I know it's a bit of a hectic time, so we really appreciate you taking your evening and joining us. Good night, everyone.